Think about what happens when a winter storm knocks out the power. The heater dies, the refrigerator goes warm, and the lights blink out. In an instant, the fragile electrical grid we rely on to keep our family safe vanishes. In the 1880s, a family stepping onto raw land operated within a closed loop. Their security meant a direct partnership with livestock and soil. Frontier families lived within a system of knowledge taking 10,000 years to perfect. We forgot nearly all of it in under a century. Resilience in this world came from mastering an unbreakable web of trust with the natural landscape, a relationship that provided a level of stability we have largely traded for convenience. Preparation for the cold months began in late summer, long before the first frost. Instead of fighting the landscape, homesteaders read it like a map. If they saw swallows flying low over a field, they knew dropping air pressure was pushing insects down, a reliable signal that a rainstorm was hours away. They also looked to the weeds growing right outside their doors. Broadleaf plantain was treated as an essential pharmacy. Mothers crushed the fresh green leaves and pressed them directly against their children's insect bites and infected cuts. The chemical compound aucubin is the mechanism behind that relief. Within minutes of application, it actively reduces cellular inflammation and damaged tissue. That same intense observation applied to finding water. A homesteader could sink a hand-dug well in the exact right spot on the first attempt just by spotting a patch of bright green grass in an otherwise brown September field, a clear giveaway of a hidden spring just below the topsoil. Keeping a settlement alive required treating the natural world as an equal partner to be understood, rather than an adversary to be conquered. When the autumn harvest arrived, families adopted a strict zero-waste philosophy. After baking pies, they took the leftover apple skins and cores, covered them in water, and let wild yeast ferment the scraps into medicinal apple cider vinegar. But the most vital resource came from the livestock. Butchering a single winter hog provided enough calories, cooking fat, and raw materials to sustain an entire family until the spring thaw. They melted down the leaf fat around the animal's kidneys over low heat to produce pure, shelf-stable lard. Then they took rainwater leached through hardwood ash to extract lye and boiled it with the leftover fat to create a year's supply of soap. To ensure protein through winter, they built an egg bank by submerging fresh eggs in a liquid sodium silicate solution. This seals the shell's microscopic pores, creating a physical barrier against bacteria, keeping the eggs edible for 12 months. Every scrap of nature found a specific use during the harvest. The family spent these months converting their raw environment into a stable, long-term inventory of food and fuel. By January, the landscape turned frozen and deadly, but inside the cabin, the family remained secure. That security depended on the hearth never going cold. Families relied on the precise skill of banking a fire to ensure the cabin temperature didn't drop to lethal levels while everyone slept. By burying a bed of hardwood coals under a measured layer of ash, they starved the fire of just enough oxygen. The coals glowed under the ash for 8 hours, ready to ignite fresh wood at dawn. If the cellar stores ran low, a family could still provide for the cooking pot without spending precious ammunition. They set quiet, passive snares made of twisted horsehair along well-worn rabbit trails, letting the animal's own daily habits secure the catch. Even winter illnesses were managed in-house. If a child developed an infected cut, a mother applied a warm poultice of milk-soaked bread under a cloth bandage. The warmth increased local blood flow, while the bread provided a physical medium to draw the infection safely to the surface. Comfort came from the practical knowledge required to protect, feed, and heal your family inside your own walls. When the spring thaw finally arrived, families stored their fresh milk and butter in a built directly over a natural creek that functioned as a year-round, zero-energy refrigerator. This system of self-reliance was eventually dismantled by corporate marketing budgets. Procter & Gamble needed to sell off a cottonseed oil byproduct, so they launched campaigns to demonize lard and sell Crisco. General Electric needed a massive customer base, and the electric refrigerator provided the perfect replacement for the free, natural springhouse. Pharmaceutical companies isolated active compounds in medicinal plants and patented the resulting formulas for profit. We were told the old ways were simply ignorant. We didn't get smarter, we just became more dependent. You can start reclaiming that independence today by picking just one of these lost skills, whether it's identifying broadleaf plantain in your sidewalk or reading tomorrow's weather from the animals in your yard, and actually learning it. The world became more profitable for others when these skills were forgotten. This entire system of knowledge remains rooted in the earth, available to anyone willing to look for it.